Well, I promised this short video on the writing life, and so I'm going to go ahead and do it. Been a little busy the last few days, and this might be a little rushed. Not dressing up for this, not setting up anything special, but I think maybe that's an important fact to talk about. Because as I write, just here with my laptop computer or up in my study, it's important to be a part of the real world, the world I find myself in, the kitchen, the plant that had to come in because it was going to be freezing last night, the kitchen table where we eat, where we drink coffee, where Rebecca and I do life together, and where the dog makes tremendous lapping noises from the water, as you can hear. And so just a brief overview of what I bring to the table, literally to the table, when I write. I think the important thing to begin with is to say that I start every morning with my devotional life, because I'm a Christian, and I believe very, very firmly that God is the beginning, the author and the perfecter of all creation. And inasmuch as I want to be creative and I want to do my best as a writer, then I really want to be connected to the source of all creation. And that devotional time involves this, the Bible. I always read from the Bible every day. I always get some wisdom that points me in the right direction, and that often deals with whatever blocks that I have, or invites me into a new way of thinking. I think the key advice I'd give to anybody who's considering being a professional writer, and I've now had several thousand published articles, 5 books. I'm writing my 6th book. I write for a lot of websites and have written for a lot of newspapers, so it's something that I'm beginning to understand a little better. My primary advice would be to write about what you know, what's right in front of you. If you have nothing else to inspire you, just look at the life that you lead, the place that you're in, the people that you know, and think about how they connect to your own personal passion, and then communicate what's on your heart. Really, you have to write for yourself. I have to write for myself. My writing is always journaling, even if it's a newspaper article. It's how something in the situation, the person I was talking with, the event that I covered, how it affects my view of the world, my perspective of the world. So I think writing honestly and writing authentically, rather than writing what we think other people want to read, is important. Unless that other person is an editor. And let me backtrack a little bit to explain what I mean by that. All writing is personal. However, if we want to get anything published, then we really have to write in the style and about the subject that the person who's paying you to write wants the article to be. And so there's a sense in which we have to be smart about that. Research the magazine, research the newspaper, research the area that you'll be writing for, and write in a way that is acceptable in that particular genre. Write out of your own experience, but write into other people's experiences. In other words, I think it's important that we connect with people. If you read my blog at www.derekmaul.wordpress.com, you'll see that the writing is very personal, but it's also interactive. I have the people who are reading very much in mind, and the writing has to make a connection. Otherwise, well, it doesn't go anywhere. Nobody bothers reading it. The old joke is, if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there to hear it, doesn't make any noise. Well, if you write a blog, if you write an article, if you write a book, and nobody reads it, has there been any writing? Well, yes, there has been, and the experience is valid and worthwhile. But if you want to write to communicate, then it has to involve the other person. And so to a certain extent, writing has not occurred as a piece of communication until that communication is received. So it's important that we sense what the audience is interested in and try to make a connection there. The most important thing I have to say about writing is just to do it. Don't wait until you think you're a good writer before you write. You become a good writer by writing. Listen for your own voice, develop your own voice so that you can recognize yourself in all the different forms of writing. Whether I'm writing a devotional article, a book, a newspaper article, a commentary, something that's even commercial for a business online, I can usually hear my voice, and that only comes after a lot of writing and a lot of listening. So learn to listen to yourself, develop your own voice, and then put that in to the work that you're passionate about. I think everybody can write. If you want to write, I'd certainly advise that you do it. Maybe this is just part one. Maybe I'll do another one of these videos again, especially if your instructor asks. And so I look forward to speaking with you again. In the meantime, check into my blog on a daily basis, or check my YouTube channel out, which is not hard to find either. Derek Maul, Google's well. Blessings to you, blessings on your writing, and it's great to be in conversation with you. I'm Derek Maul.